their WNBA offseason grades for 2025 with the Indiana Fever coming out.
Caitlin Clark just flipped the script on the entire WNBA. Defenders who thought they had her figured out, they're scrambling. Coaches, panicking. The league, absolutely stunned. She was already a walking highlight reel, but what we're seeing now, this is different. This is next-level domination. She's not just hitting logo threes, she's muscling through contact, breaking defenses, and controlling the game like a seasoned veteran. So what changed? How did Caitlin Clark transform from an elite shooter to an unstoppable force on both ends of the floor? Today, we're breaking down her insane evolution, the brutal off-season training that turned her into a powerhouse, and why the WNBA is officially in trouble. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's get into it.
Fever did not come to play. They are on a mission to win now, like 2025 championship season incoming. They were so quiet during free agency. And in the past 24 hours, boom, 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 re-signed Kelsey Mitchell to a max deal, picked up Natasha Howard, bringing her back to the Indiana Fever, where she was originally drafted. And then they just announced a three-way trade, sending Alyssa Smith to Dallas and Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever. This team in 24 hours just got exponentially better. Starting five, Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, Lexi Hall and Sophie can duke it out for the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, Aaliyah.
Caitlin Clark was already a household name before stepping into the WNBA, known for her limitless range and ability to drop 30-foot bombs like they were free throws. But if you thought she was just a shooter, think again. The Caitlin Clark we're seeing now is a completely different beast, one that the league simply wasn't ready for. In college, Clark was a scoring machine, but many questioned whether she could handle the jump to the pros. The WNBA is a different level, stronger, faster, more physical. Could she survive the pressure? Would she be able to handle the aggressive defenses designed to wear her down? Some critics doubted if her game would translate when she wasn't the fastest or the most athletic player on the court. But here's the thing about Caitlin Clark. Doubt has always fueled her. And instead of struggling to adjust, she's taken her game to an entirely new level. What's different? Everything. She's no longer just launching deep threes. She's attacking the rim, finishing through contact, and controlling the tempo like a veteran. Before, defenders could crowd her, get physical, and throw her off her rhythm. Now, she welcomes the contact, absorbs the hits, and still gets her shot off with precision. She's not just reacting to defenses anymore. She's dictating the pace, putting defenders on their heels, and making them second-guess every move.
Indiana Fever because they were awarded the highest grade of an A. So do you guys remember during the Indiana Fever's season when fans and media personalities were saying that they would be surprised if anyone wanted to play in Indiana because of their toxic fan base, because there was problems in the locker room? Well, all of that seemed to be pushed to the side because Indiana Fever has become the destination.
And it's not just her offense that's evolved. Clark's defensive intensity has skyrocketed. She's reading passing lanes, fighting through screens, and holding her own against bigger, stronger opponents. She's proving that she's not just a scorer, she's a complete player. Every single game she's showing that she belongs, and not just as a rising star, but as a force that's already changing the landscape of the WNBA. So how did Caitlin Clark make this massive leap? It wasn't luck, and it definitely wasn't just natural talent. This transformation was built through sheer hard work and an off-season grind that pushed her beyond her limits. The version of Caitlin Clark we see today is the product of relentless training, a new mindset, and a complete overhaul of her physical game. One of the biggest criticisms coming into the WNBA was whether she could handle the league's physicality. College defenders could try to stay in front of her, but in the pros, the game is rougher, the defenders are stronger, and the pressure is relentless. Some believed she'd struggle against bigger, more aggressive players who wouldn't hesitate to body her up, bump her off her spots, and wear her down over the course of a game. But instead of backing down, Clark attacked that challenge head-on.
Spot, who, to me, is the most dangerous roster, is the Indiana Fever. I mean, what? How did they pull this off?
Her training wasn't just about perfecting her shot, she went into full beast mode. She hit the weight room harder than ever before, packing on muscle to absorb contact and keep her balance while driving to the hoop. Core strength became a major focus, allowing her to maintain her shooting form even when defenders try to throw her off. Her lower body power increased, giving her more explosiveness on drives and extra lift on her jump shot. And her upper body strength? It's the reason why she's now shrugging off contact and finishing through defenders instead of getting pushed around. But that was only part of the plan. Clark didn't just want to be stronger, she wanted to be faster, more agile, and more durable than ever. She worked on her endurance to make sure she could still be a game changer deep into the fourth quarter when other players were gassed. She focused on footwork and agility, sharpening her first step so she could blow by defenders and get into the lane with ease. And perhaps most importantly, she trained with a purpose. Every drill, every rep, every session was designed to make sure she didn't just survive in the WNBA, but dominated it. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a total transformation. The Caitlin Clark that once relied mostly on skill is now combining that elite talent with a level of strength, speed, and conditioning that makes her nearly impossible to stop. WNBA defenders are realizing that they can't just push her around anymore. The days of trying to wear her down with physical play are over, because now she's the one initiating the contact, setting the tone, and making defenders pay for every mistake.
Past teammates that they've had, like, they only have good things to say about them, and that's the reason all the top teams were going after these type of players, because they know the type of asset they are in the locker room, from a type of player they are, but more so their leadership, their knowledge of the game, how hard they work, and those were the only people that we were going to add to this. So just really fortunate we've been able to get a lot of the pieces that we wanted. So that just speaks to what we've been able to build here over the course of the last year, but also to the front office and what Steph's been able to do, but also to the players that have, chosen to come here and are excited about it. And it speaks a lot to them too. Like, they want to win and play in front of a lot of fans. And,
Now that Caitlin Clark has transformed her game, the WNBA is scrambling to keep up. Defenders who once thought they had a blueprint to slow her down are realizing that their old tactics just don't work anymore. She's forcing teams to completely rethink their defensive strategies because, for the first time, they don't have an easy answer for her. Before this transformation, teams had one goal: be physical with Clark, push her around, get her off her spots, and make her work for every shot. In college, that might have rattled her at times, but in the WNBA, that strategy is backfiring. Now, when defenders try to body her up, she doesn't just absorb the contact, she powers through it. She's no longer just a finesse shooter who can be pushed off balance. She's a player who can create her own shot anywhere on the court, whether it's pulling up from deep, attacking the basket, or working in the mid-range. One of the biggest changes in her game is how she controls the pace. She's no longer just reacting to the defense. She's dictating the tempo, deciding when and how she wants to attack. Defenders can't crowd her like they used to, because now, if they press up too high, she'll explode past them and get to the rim. If they sag off, she'll bury a three from the logo without hesitation. It's a nightmare situation for any defender.
Franchise all in on you and this team with the new practice facility, landing these free agents, and really being all in on women as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, honestly, and I feel very fortunate and lucky to come here, to stay in the Midwest, and this is the franchise in all of women's sports, I say. No matter what sport it is, they're certainly investing. They see the type of crowds we get. They see the excitement we're generating, not only in the state of Indiana, but all across the country. And I think the next few years are going to be amazing for this franchise, and will continue to be for hopefully 10 plus years, and hopefully we win a few championships. But they're investing to help us be really good. So just putting all the right pieces together and doing it on the floor to, return that favor to them. But I'm just really thankful to be here, and thankful to, all of Pacers Sport and Entertainment.
Even more frustrating for the opposition is that she's now playing with a level of confidence and toughness that makes her even harder to stop. She's not just trying to score, she's imposing her will on the game. You can see it in her body language, the way she walks onto the court, knowing that she's going to dictate what happens. The energy, the swagger, the intensity, it's all on another level. And it's not just individual defenders who are struggling, entire teams are being forced to adjust. Coaches are throwing double teams at her, switching matchups, and trying to disrupt her rhythm. but none of it is working the way they hoped. The Caitlin Clark they prepared for isn't the same player they're seeing now. She's stronger, faster, and more relentless than ever. She's making defenders look slow, forcing them into bad decisions, and punishing them for every mistake. WNBA teams are realizing that stopping Caitlin Clark isn't just about trying to slow her down. It's about surviving her impact. She's no longer just an elite shooter. She's a complete player who can take over a game in multiple ways, and the league is struggling to find an answer. If she's already dominating like this now, just imagine what she's going to be in a year. The scary part? She's still getting better. Caitlin Clark isn't just adjusting to the WNBA, she's forcing the league to adjust to her. She came in as one of the most hyped rookies in history, and somehow she's exceeding expectations. The deep threes? Still there. The elite playmaking? Better than ever. But now she's stronger, more aggressive, and controlling the game in ways that few saw coming. Defenders who thought they could push her around are realizing they have no answer. Teams that thought they had a plan are watching those plans fall apart. And the craziest part? She's just getting started. If this is Caitlin Clark at the beginning of her WNBA career, imagine what she'll be a year from now, 2 years from now. This is only the beginning of something special. So, what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark on her way to becoming one of the most dominant players in the WNBA? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you love WNBA content like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.